Have you ever tried to avoid a problem and then just ended up running straight into it? Maybe you tried to avoid a bad habit and somehow you find yourself doing it even more. Or you were determined not to make the same mistake again, and yet there it was, staring you in the face. It's not always bad luck. It's not always self-sabotage. It's often something called target fixation. Target fixation is a term from sports like cycling, skiing, motorbiking. It means you go where your eyes go. If you're on a motorbike and there's a tree you're desperate not to hit and you stare at that tree, you'll hit it, because your body follows your focus. And the same thing happens in life. If you're constantly focused on the obstacles, the risks, the what ifs, then your actions, emotions, and decisions start to steer you straight to them. The more you look at the thing that you don't want, the more likely you are to collide with it. Today, I want to show you how to shift that. We're going to walk through a 3-step process to help you focus on the right target, prepare for challenges without obsessing over them, and actually reach the outcomes you care about. And at the end, I'll give you a quick 1-question tool you can use every day to keep your focus locked on to where you want to go. So let's start with step 1, define the destination. Most people can tell you in detail what they don't want. I don't want a job that I hate. I don't want another toxic relationship. I don't want to fail this project. But when you ask, okay, but what do you actually want? They go vague. A better job, a healthy relationship, a successful project. And here's the problem: because your brain is a goal-seeking machine, it needs clear, positive targets to aim for. Without one, it defaults to scanning for threats, and that's when the obstacles take over your attention. So instead of saying, I don't want X, you have to define why. So not I want a better job, but I want a role in a company that values creativity, pays X amount, and lets me work from home 3 days a week. Not I want to feel happier, but I want to wake up feeling energized, do work I'm proud of, and spend my evenings on activities that recharge me. See that difference? The more specific the target, the easier it is to focus on it, and the harder it is for your mind to get distracted by every hazard on the way. All right, let's move on to step 2, steer with your attention. Setting the goal is one thing, keeping your eye on it is another, and that's where most people fail. They set the goal and then they spend 90% of the time looking for reasons it won't work. You see this in business, sports, you see this in relationships, you even see this in hobbies. A runner starts training for a race but spends more time worrying about injuries than thinking about the finish line. An entrepreneur dreams of launching the products but gets lost in every potential failure scenario until they never start. Your brain works like a filter. When you focus on a certain thing, your brain filters in more of it. Someone tells you to watch out for red cars. Next thing you know, there's nothing but red cars that you see on the road. So if you focus on what could go wrong, your brain will find evidence of risk everywhere. And those thoughts drive emotions like anxiety or fear, which drive behaviors like hesitation, avoidance, over-preparing in the wrong areas. The fix is to train your attention to stay goal-focused most of the time. This doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means giving the majority of your energy to the outcome you want, not to the things that you fear. And that leads us to step 3, prepare without obsessing. Because yes, the phrase failure to prepare is preparation fail is true. You can't ignore potential obstacles completely, but pretending everything will be perfect is just setting yourself up to be blindsided. But there's a difference between preparing and obsessing. Preparing is identifying the key challenges that could realistically derail you and building a plan to handle them. Obsession is running endless worst-case scenarios until you've drained your confidence and your energy. So here's how you might do it right. Identify the top 2 or 3 challenges that are most likely to show up. Decide in advance how you'll respond to each one of them. Then stop thinking about them. The preparation gives you confidence that you can handle the challenge if it comes, and the focus on your goals is what keeps you moving. Let's give you an example. A client of mine wanted to run her first half marathon. When we started to work together, her mind was full of fear. What if I get injured? What if I can't make the distance? What if I embarrass myself? She was staring at the trees, not the finish line. We shifted her focus. She defined her goal state in detail, crossing the finish line strong, hitting a specific time, and feeling proud. We prepared for 2 realistic obstacles, bad weather and pacing errors, and we built strategies for both. Then her mental energy went entirely into visualizing and training for that goal state. Race day came, and yes, it poured with rain, but because she'd already planned for it, it didn't rattle her. Because she'd already planned for it, it didn't rattle her. She adapted, she stayed focused, and hit her target time exactly. That's the balance. Prepare for the challenges, but live in the vision. All right, here's the daily tool that I promised. Before you make a decision, take an action, or even react to something, ask yourself, am I aiming at the goal or am I aiming at the obstacle? If the answer is obstacle, shift your focus. Write down the goal, prepare it, picture it, speak it out loud if you have to, remind your brain of what you want. Because here's the truth, your mind is a steering wheel and your attention is the road. And your reality, that's where you arrive. Remind your brain remind your brain where you actually want to go. And I'll leave you with this truth. Your mind is a steering wheel, your attention is the road, and your reality, that's where you arrive. If this hits home for you, hit subscribe. I share tools every week to help you sharpen your focus, strengthen your mindset, and create momentum in your life. And if you're wanting to build a strategy that keeps your eyes on the real target while preparing for what's ahead, there's a free starter call link below. Aim high, prepare smart, and keep your eyes where you want to go.